So welcome back. In today's video, we are going to look at naming conventions. What are naming conventions? When to use which? How do you name your variables? How do you name your methods? What are some of the types of naming conventions do we have in Java, among others? So let's dive in. So can come here. Some of the naming conventions include the PascalCase convention. This simply, each word starts with an uppercase. So some of the things that we find in this naming convention is classes, simply classes. So let me say you have a class like this class here. So here, the first one is called, you can first comment. The first one is called the PascalCase. This simply means each word starts with an uppercase letter. So here, like in classes, so some of the things that we find can come here. Some of the things that we find in Pascal casing, this naming convention called Pascal casing, are the classes. So each and every time that you are naming your class, you have to follow this naming convention called Pascal casing. Simply, what does it mean? This means that each word should start with a capital letter or an uppercase. Yeah, so that's done. We can go to the second one. We have what we call the camel casing. The camel have what we call the camel casing. So when to use the camel casing and what do we find in the camel cases? So things that we find in the camel case includes the methods. So each and every time that you are writing your method, you should camel case it. By camel casing, I mean the first word should be in lowercase, and the following words should be in uppercase. So you can see here up, I can come here, create a method. This is what I mean. Let me make it public and make it void. So this is what I mean. Let me say you are naming your method show human. Open. This is what I'm meaning by camel casing. The first letter of your word should start with a small letter and the others should be capital letters. So that's how we name the methods. The other thing we find here under camel case are the variables. So each and every time that you are naming your variable, let me say, come here and say int, let me say age, my age is equal to, let me say like 12, like this one. You can see that each time you are naming your variable, it has to be in camel casing style. Why? Because you can't do something like this. My age. This is not even this does not give any meaning. So to get away with this, use camel casing, like the way I've done here up. Yeah, so that's how we name. Those are some of the things that we find in camel casing styles, and this is the most common one. So each and every time that you face challenges with naming conventions, I prefer using, or I recommend you using the camel casing naming convention. So the next one is can come here down. The next one is what we call the constant. How do you name your constant? So by constant, I'm meaning I think most of you have seen constants in Java. The ones by constants, I'm meaning these ones. If you come here and say you have your variable, let me say string is equal to my school, and you come here and you use the word final, keyword called final. Automatically this has become a constant is not going to change, meaning this should be in by constant. Yeah, I can come constant. We find the constant naming. Constant name. All should be here. We find the constants themselves. Constant. So all should be in capital letters. Yeah. Let me say my school. All should be in capital letters, like the way I've done here. I can put this down, being that we are inside a class that won't accept. So I'll come here. I'll say final equal to string, string which is equal to my school, my school. Change this, doing this. So when you have the keyword called final, this automatically means this is a constant. By constants, I'm meaning they are not. It is not going to change any value. So each and every time that you are calling this my school variable, name it in objects, arrays. This is going to be the value that it is assigned to. It is not going to change in any way. You cannot modify the constants. So that's how you can name your constants. Then lastly, we have what we call the just a simple question. So we have these ones. Someone can help me and answer this question. If I have a constructor, let me say uh, constructor is equal to human, human, then open. When I have this constructor here up, what where does this fall? And my constructor here, I can say constructor, I can give it a public class, public. So where does how do we name constructors? Simply how we name constructors. Constructors start with here. Constructors, 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 constructors start with what we call constructors. They start with, so each and every time that you are naming a constructor, each constructor, how are they different from these methods? You can see down I'm having a method, and up here I'm having a constructor. So how are they different? By constructors, we start with a uppercase letter. So each and every time you are seeing an uppercase letter, automatically you will know that this is a constructor. But remember, for the methods, we used what we call the camelCase, whereby the first letter is in small letter, the first letter starts with a small letter, then the others are in uppercase. So that's how you can differentiate a method and a constructor. So here we have uppercase for the first letter. So simply, those are some of the common naming convention. Last, we have what we call the snake casing. But in Java, we prefer not to. We prefer to ignore snake casing. The snake casing naming convention, snake casing. But you can use it. So what does the snake casing mean? Snake casing is something like this. I can demonstrate it here up. So when you have like string, my name is equal to colon, then I can do this. So here it has to be equals. So by snake casing, I mean you come here down, you give an underscore. So if each and every time you see underscores, my name is, so each and every time you see underscores, that means it is a snake casing naming convention. But in Java, we prefer not using the snake casing. I prefer using the camel casing instead of using the snake casing. So that's simply how you can start naming, or that's simply how you can start describing your variables and other things in Java. So each and every time you see, let me say, a capital letter starting, there you will know that, hey, this is a constructor, like that. So that's simply the naming conventions in Java. Thank you.